All right, morning everybody. This is Juan with Moix RV. We're gonna winterize a Reflection 315 RLTS this morning. All right, everybody, this camper has the new Nautilus water system that's in the camper. Now, I also wanna show you, in your owner's manual, which is phenomenal, this owner's manual has a winterization section in it. This covers every little bit what we're gonna do today, but takes your time, go through it as what we're gonna do today. So it covers a lot of little items that are in here for you. Now, on this system, to winterize the first system, make sure the pump is in the off position. The power tank fill, we're gonna turn these valves to the power tank fill position. So that means the white goes to the side, the blue comes up, the black goes to the right, and then the blue or the green goes down to the right. Next, what we're gonna do is open up all the valves and we're gonna drain the low point drains. On this camper, if you see here, we've got two lines, two red and two blue. What that means, this camper is set up for a washer and dryer hookup. So we're gonna open these valves, as well as to the right over there, you've got your freshwater drain right over here on this backside. We'll drain that as well. So we're gonna pull these valves or pull these caps off one at a time. Of course, they're a little bit under pressure, so you might get a little bit wet. Voila! Leave these right by because you're going to plug them back up when we start winterizing. So the next step is we're gonna go inside, open up all the water valves to drain the water system. All right, everybody, with the Nautilus system into the power tank fill position, we've already dropped the low point drains and draining the fresh water tank, so we're gonna open up all the valves. So this one, lever pulls out and put it on center for the hot side. Now we're gonna go to the bathroom and do the faucet as well as the shower, and we're gonna pump the toilet valve while we're going. So next, remember, leave all the valves. You can start here at draining the shower and then the toilet. Hold that open, it will drain most of the water that's out. And then now we're gonna go into the bedroom where the washer and dryer fittings are. Now in the front left corner of this camper is where the washer and dryer setup is gonna be. So you're just gonna turn the valves open and let them drain as they go down. After you're done opening the faucets inside, we're going to drain the water heater. Now, there's a little pop-off valve right here that you got to release the pressure off of so the water can drain. If you can hear it, there's water coming out the base because now this is drained out. But here we go. So you got to have a 15th, 16th socket, and it looks kind of crazy, but you got to get it wiggled in right in there to release that little plastic nut. So, open it. And again, make sure, if you can, make sure the hot water heater is cool and turned off so there's no heat coming out this little pop-off valve. There we go. So this is going to stay in here for the meantime. That'll drain out, and then we'll plug up the camper and put everything in bypass. With the camper completely drained, as of right now, the next step in the manual is going to tell you to blow the camper out. Now, what that means is, we've got this little blowout plug that's going to go in the city water connection, and then you air blow the system out as much as water as you can get out. But with all the water drained as of right now, this should be good enough to put antifreeze into the system. So the next step right now, we're going to put the Nautilus system into winterizing mode. So black and the blue stay the same. The white turns down. The green and the red reverse. So here's this next step is where you find the camper is able to siphon the antifreeze into itself. So what you do next is find that old garden hose your wife wants you to throw out or something that's been up, whatever it is. You can hook it up into here, but what we're going to utilize is the outside shower. Unscrew this. Ooh. This goes right up into here. Make it a connection. That screws in right there. Now we got to go in and shut off all faucets inside, as well as plug up the low point drains. I'm going to do that right now. So the Nautilus system bypasses the water heater for you and everything, so no hunting down a panel on the inside to turn valves internally. So this is all external. There we go. So now we got to go inside and shut off all the faucets. Now that we're back inside the camper, now we're going to shut off all the valves. So that means the kitchen, the shower, the kitchen, the bathroom sink, as well as the washer and dryer system in there. And I also have a little bucket in there because we're going to put antifreeze inside utilizing a bucket. Now we're in the bathroom sink. Shut those valves off, as well as the shower. Make sure that washer and dryer, this shuts off. Now, I've got this little handy little bucket right here. So what we're going to use is, when we start putting antifreeze in the system, we got to make sure we get antifreeze to this right here. So we'll use this to catch what antifreeze comes out to the system. Now to start winterizing the camper. So we're going to take off all the caps off the antifreeze, because if you're doing this by yourself, you're going to be moving pretty fast. So the jugs are open. I got 4 for this one. This should be more than enough. Now, this little thing is going to puncture in. So if you did have a winterizing hose, it's just going to be pushed into the jug, just like I'm doing here. So we're going to coil it in. And then now we're going to turn the pump on. So what it's going to do now is start finding what it needs to do. You'll hear the pump pressurize out and shut itself off. So there we go. It's going to fill up everything inside the camper where it needs to go. There we go. As you can tell what I'm doing, I'm just coiling the hose into the jug. So there we go. We heard it pressurize out. So now what we're going to do is go inside, go to each faucet, and then get antifreeze into each section. Now we've got this. The farthest faucet away is your kitchen sink. So where we're at. So we're going to open it up right on center, and you're going to get a good pink out of here. Now again, one of these things, if you're doing it by yourself, you're going to have to open these up and then go out and look at the jug, see where it's at in level. As you can tell, see, we're getting a little bit of pink right now. There's one, and there's the second. So you got a good deep pink in the camper. Now we're going to shut this off, and we're going to go outside and make sure the jug is still full. Now the jug has been replaced externally, so now we're going to do it. We're going to be in the bathroom and doing this system. So boom, look at this, bright red pink, bright red pink. Now we're going to do the toilet. There's our bright red pink. Now the shower. Now this, bring it down low. Right there. Hot and cold sides. Remember to get as much pink as you can out of each side. We'll let that drain right there. And do a couple more faucets on or open. Right there. Now we're going into the washer and dryer area. So as you can tell, see where I have my little bucket. It's going to be right here as close as you can. You still might make a little bit of mess, but here we go. Whoa! There we go. Making a big mess. We got good pink there on the cold side. Here comes the hot side. As I'm making a bigger mess. There we go. If you're doing this without the wife, clean up after. All right, everybody, we've got a little funny way of doing the outside shower right here. So you might get a little bit wet, but this is one way that kind of we do it here, but you could do it ideally if you have your hookup right here. So what we're going to do is, Stuart, you might want to step back a little bit from the angle. so you're going to pressurize this little system. So you got the hot and cold side on. So you ready for this? You're getting pink antifreeze to the system. You might get a little bit wet, but this is how one way to do it also. There we go. Y'all hear it pressurize? There it goes. So now you know you got antifreeze to that system right there. Last thing we're gonna do is make sure we get pink antifreeze through our low point drains. So you just wanna make sure everything's there because that's the lowest point in the system that you're gonna get antifreeze. All you do is gotta break the seals just a little bit to make sure there's a little bit there. Coming out just a little bit. There it goes. That really pink. It has a little glycery feel to it. When you rub your fingers together, it's a little bit like glycerin. And so you want to get as much as that out of it as much as you can also. So there goes that. Same thing for that one. All right, now the last thing you want to do, of course, from doing the low point drains to Winterize system is you're going to empty all of your tanks also. So that means open the gray valve. This one has specifically for the washer and dryer, and the other two you have the gray and the black for the rear kitchen as well as the bathroom in there. So pulling those, drain the system out, make sure your fresh water drain is dumped, and leave the valve open as well as the water heater. Leave that plug out because there is some residual water left in there. And that's winterizing the 315.